This is the story of Iqbal, a 16-year-old boy who lived in a small village with his father. Iqbal's father was sick, so Iqbal had to take care of the household chores. One day, suddenly, his father's health deteriorated and he passed away. There was no one to help Iqbal, so he alone took his father to the graveyard. He was doing everything alone. While digging the grave, it became evening from noon, and from evening to night, he didn't realize anything. When he was heading towards the gate of the cemetery after burying his father, it was already quite late at night. The wind was blowing fast. Suddenly, someone called him from behind Hiku. When he turned back to look, no one was there. Only Iqbal's father used to call him Niku, so Iqbal thought maybe his father was calling him. But even after calling out loudly to his father, there was no response, so he got scared and started walking quickly towards the gate. But as soon as Iqbal reached near the gate, it suddenly closed. He became very scared. The walls and gate of the graveyard were so high that he couldn't climb over them. There was another gate of the graveyard which was on the back side. But to reach that gate, Iqbal had to go back through the middle of the graveyard. Somehow gathering courage, he decided to go to the other gate. He was just walking through the deserted graveyard when suddenly he saw a woman standing far away. He went to the woman and asked, "Who are you?" The woman didn't answer. Iqbal was about to ask her again when the woman suddenly turned her head back. Both her eyes were red and she was staring at Iqbal angrily. Seeing this, Iqbal screamed loudly and started running. Running, he stopped near a tree. After a while, fog began to envelop everything around him. Iqbal might not have been able to breathe properly. Suddenly, he saw a woman running in the fog. Behind that woman, a child was also running, and behind the child, another woman was running. But as the woman was running, she suddenly stopped and started coming towards Iqbal. As some fog cleared, Iqbal began to see the woman's face clearly. Looking at the woman, Iqbal's hair stood on end, as if that woman had been buried in that graveyard for years. The woman was coming closer to Iqbal, and Iqbal was slowly moving back. Suddenly, Iqbal's foot slipped, and he fell into a grave. The grave was so deep that he couldn't get out of there. He felt like someone was pulling him inside the ground. When he turned back, he saw that the same woman was pulling him. Half of his body had already gone inside the ground. Now Iqbal could see that he would also be buried in the same grave with his father. Suddenly, someone grabbed his hand and pulled him up. As soon as he came up, he ran straight out of the cemetery. He understood that the one who pulled him up was his father. That's why it is said that someone who truly loves you helps you even after they die.